Good morning, everyone. We'll start in just a moment. We're given a few more minutes, well, another minute to let others join. So hang on, we'll get started in just a second. Thank you. Great. So we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you guys for joining us today. Today's customer success webinar from DeepTarget. I'm so excited to have our team with us. I'm David Kingsbury. I'm leading most of the customer success. We all take a part in that. And with me today is my favorite sidekick, Helen. So Helen, if you'll say hello.
Hi, everybody.
And Jacob, one of our technical experts. Jacob, good morning.
Hey, thanks for having me today, David.
Great. Thank you, guys. So we're real excited about the topic here this morning, and we can't wait to tell you more about what we've got coming. And it's an ever-changing world. How does AI and machine learning actually help? So and DeepTarget is taking a deep look into artificial intelligence and machine learning for your benefit as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started. But first up, we've decided that we're going to add this, if you will, a Helen's hint, because Helen always has some great hints to get us started. First thing, something for you to think about to make sure that you're optimizing your DeepTarget implementation. Then we're going to talk about what's now and next in AI for digital marketing, how DeepTarget utilizes it, how DeepTarget uses the generative AI specifically, and we'll have our Java joy. So we'll go ahead and get started. Helen, you're up first.
Okay, I've heard this from a number of our customers, and so I wanted to bring this one up today. Sometimes you get in your campaign list page and you're thinking, oh my goodness, I've got too many campaigns, they're too hard to manage. What do I do? How do I get rid of my old ones? What do I do? So here's what we want you to do. We want you to be able to delete your old campaigns, but you just need to be careful. So this topic today is, how do you know when to keep it or delete it? So the rule of thumb is delete only those campaigns that have not had an impression in the last 25 months. Because if you delete those, it will update and make your reports wrong. So you want to make sure that you're really careful about what you delete. So I'm not trying to tell you not to delete, because you do need to delete the old ones, but just be careful. So let's talk about how you do that. So David, you can go to the next slide.
Perfect. So, and Helen, I'll just interject. A lot of times we reuse campaigns, right? And you're probably going to speak to that, but and that makes perfect sense too, right?
That's right.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, I find that the easiest way to do this is to go to the campaign category analytics report. You can run that, choose your start date, and choose it 25 months back. In this example, we're using January 22 because that's as far as back as you can go now. And then you want to go to the chart view. So you can see over on the right where we've selected the chart view, and you hit apply. And once you do that, that's going to give you a list of all your campaigns that were running during that time period. So that's the next slide, David. So it's going to look like this. And you're going to want to export the table. And the reason why I say export it, it's always just easier to look at it that way, because you might have a number of campaigns that you want to delete, and it just makes it easier. So you're going to export that table, and you're going to look in that first column where it says impressions unique, and you're going to see if there are any campaigns that you have that have 0 impressions during that time frame. So if you go to the next slide, you want to see what's in there. Go through those campaigns. If I'm going to bullet 2 first. If a campaign shows 0 impressions in that exported table, that can be deleted. However, you want to be careful, because you may have campaigns created that you haven't started yet, because you might have set your holidays up for the rest of the year or something like that. So you don't want to delete those, but just kind of watch out for those. But if you go through your campaign list screen and you see a campaign that's not in that exported table, it can be deleted, because you may have, from that time period, you might have some that you created back in 2019 or 2013 or however long ago that was. It you just need to clean up and get rid of them. You want to do kind of a 2-check thing. So one is go through your campaign list screen. If you see a campaign on that list that's not on that chart, then you can delete it.
That's
Um,
right. And just as a reminder, we do support unlimited campaigns, and it's not going to hurt anything, right, Helen? Tell me if I'm wrong.
That's right.
If you leave them out there, but sometimes it just becomes cluttered, I suppose, right?
Mhm, mhm. And
Perfect.
it's just good housekeeping, you know, you might want to do this once a year. I mean, you don't have to
That's right.
do this every month, but just, you know, I would
Perfect.
say once a year, just do that.
Great. Okay, thank you, Helen. Good stuff. All right, so let's talk about 2024 and artificial intelligence machine learning. There's two major insights I'd like to speak to you about today, and we're going to talk about, show you some of those, is that AI and machine learning is mainstream today. In fact, it's being used, as you probably know, in a multitude of ways, from your call assistance um, uh, capability that's being deployed across many FIs today, um, to a whole broad other perspective of capabilities, which are time saving, certainly. But the generative AI continues to advance. So we know with generative AI, we can pose a question to the AI systems today, and it'll respond with text. As we're seeing in many of the call centers, that AI has the ability to speak, and there's several articles about how FIs are using that and training the speaking so that they can respond to callers. It can be applied to images, which we're going to show you in just a moment. And now it's video. So just recently, OpenAI announced Sora. Sora is an AI generated video, which based on text, a series of text, it will go create a video for you. And this is, it's not, I'm not going to run it for you, but this was all about mammoths walking across the snow tundra. And it's incredibly realistic. So it's coming, and it's coming fast. So I'll talk about that more in just a minute. But think about that. What we have from DTarget is called AdBuzz. You guys may have heard us talk about it. And it's the ability to generate content for your ads using AI. It creates the ad using copyright-free imagery, and also the call to action and so forth. So if you haven't seen it, we're going to let Jacob take over, and he's going to show you, I believe, a quick video. Correct, Jacob?
Yes, that is correct, David.
Perfect. Let me make sure that you have access to, yep, now you can take control.
All right. And my screen should be loading now. Taking a moment. Still loading, it's saying.
Maybe I need to stop share. Let me see. There you go.
All right. It does say sharing now. All right. So with the AdBuzz, we're going to play this little, it's a very short little video for you. And so I'll talk over it while it's playing. The very first thing you'll do is you'll specify your ad size for your digital banking platform. After specifying your ad size, you'll be able to choose an image by using a phrase, picking a image, and then size and style. And then after you pick that image, you'll choose a message. And so you'll pick a product, and then we'll generate some text options that you'll have an ability to edit. And then you'll select the background, you'll add your call to action, and that's it. And you'll be able to take that content. We even have an option to upload it directly from the AdBuzz right into a campaign on the DXP. And so just to kind of show a couple examples of some of the stuff that our team has put together while playing around with the AdBuzz technology. And so you see some great examples of various different products, credit cards, home equities, RVs, CDs. And so quite literally, if you think of it and you put it in the prompt, you'll be able to design it there. And so you see a lot of great options, colors, styles, images that you'll have available to use Gen AI on to create.
Awesome. So impressive. So we have several of you guys out there trialing it now, and we're adding advancements to it continuously so that once you create your ad, you can export it and then import it directly into DXP to utilize it in your campaign. Helen, do you have any more details on AdBuzz at this point? Helen, you're muted.
Sorry. Since we first released this, we have an update to it where it can save images, like if you've gone through, and so it'll give you thumbnails of the last 5 that you've looked at. So you may, may decide to change your image back to a different image. So
Awesome.
we've got
Awesome.
that added in there. So some new functionality there, and coming soon is the ability to have multiple sizes for the same content. So I know that some of you have ads in online and in mobile, so you'll be able to export those same kind of things all together.
Awesome. So email us. We'd love to share more with you and give you access to this so you could try it out, have fun with it. Okay. Very good. So thank you, Jacob. Awesome. Let me go back to my share. Perfect. Okay. All right. So let's talk about why AI and machine learning. So many of you guys may be utilizing it today, and we thank you for that. We think that's awesome. We've been out with it now about 2 years with our capability, and we've recently updated the model as well. In fact, I think we've just updated. It may be available now or very shortly as well. But the reason that you use it is it's a great way to save you time. And a lot of times we pour over our data to create specific lists that we utilize. Not really necessary anymore. There's use cases certainly where you want to create lists, but the majority of the time you can let our predictive model campaign type do that creation for you. It also is going to create optimal engagement. So it's going to, once again, be something that you just create that campaign once, and it's going to magically engage users. And every time we refresh the data, it's going to update that model and the resulting audience. So it's a pretty amazing capability. And you just have to review the months. We suggest about every 30 days. It could be 60, that sort of thing, for the results. We're going to look at the results here in just a minute. Okay. So how does it work? So in a nutshell, this is a high-level view. We're going to look at historical data, usage, and I'll explain the details of what DeepTarget does specifically, but this is for every machine learning model. It's going to take into account historical data. It's going to use a model to create a predictive model that is then overlaid with user data to then create an audience. Okay, so high-level look at what happens, but I'm going to give you a more specific look and make sure you're aware that machine learning actually does require learning. So it may start with a set of data, but it wants to utilize and track the results of account holder data as it proceeds forward. Okay, so when most systems get started, if you implemented a machine learning model today, you should ask, when is it going to be most optimal? Because what they usually will tell you, it takes at least 3 months, sometimes 6 months, for it to learn the results that it's seeking, so it can make your audience more optimized. Okay, so what it's going to do, once again, it's going to take your historical data, it's going to create a profile of likely account holders that may be interested in a particular product or service. Then it's going to use that model or profile to then discover high propensity account holders today, and then create that audience. So the real question is, how relevant is all of this for your your audience creation, and how accurate? Okay, so relevant to the audience, therefore accurate in those that are seeking this product or service. So what's the real value of DeepTarget? So as I said, most models need at least 3 to 6 months of learning time, and it's only based on your single FI data. DeepTarget utilizes the results of all 200 plus of our FI account holders, and also goes back 2 years when it does its modeling. So we can turn on a predictive model campaign and basically utilize all, and we do utilize all the results of all of these FIs, anonymized, of course, and over that 24-month, and I think it's actually 24 to 25 months historically. So the result of that looks something like this. Your account holder activities for the other models are very simplified, if you will, and not highly accurate, certainly at the beginning. And the audience created has low accuracy and low relevancy over time. The fact that we have 200 times the data, 200 account different FIs, and 24 months immediately means that that audience created is going to be really highly accurate and highly, therefore the content provided to them will be highly relevant. So that makes their experience so much better, and your results will be so much better. So that gives you an overview of how good this works for you and can work for you as well. So we're real excited about that. We want to make sure you understand that value. Okay. So Helen, do you want to speak a little bit about how to set up a predictive model campaign?
Sure. You know, most everybody uses targeted by rural campaigns, and those are very effective. But if you are using a targeted by rural campaign that's a category level campaign, something like that's just only category and age. So let's just say anybody over 18 who doesn't have a CD or something like that. You might want to think about using the targeted by predictive model, because you can get, you know, the higher propensity of users will be able to see that. So, you know, over time we have updated our model, and there are different categories. When you look at this slide, we've added, you know, commercial loan, commercial deposit, savings, and some of those weren't in our version 1, but a lot of our product account categories are now in there. So this is when you want to use it. So if you've got a like a category level that only has an age range, that would be a good time to use this. And like with all of our targeted campaigns, you can prepend user's first name on there. And this is a very easy way to do it. I mean, you know, you don't have to build a rule. You don't have to do anything. It's almost like set it and go. You're ready to go. So the only thing that we have as a caveat is that your data extracts must contain the recommended data set of fields. Most of you have that. So if some of these categories are not, you don't see those when you go to create your predictive campaign, it could be because your data does not have all the fields that it needs to use that type of account. So if you have any questions about this, please reach out to us at support@deeptarget.com, and we'll walk through it with you and help you set up some.
Perfect. Perfect. So you have the option of picking a account type, and if you wish, you can create an age range. So those are the only two things that you have to do in setting it up, and then the rest of the work is done automatically. And you can rest assured the highest propensity of your account holders will be identified, discovered, and then we'll see that campaign. So awesome. So we're real excited about that. So what that means is, Ellen, I'm gonna let you speak to this as well, okay?
Yeah, this is just another view of what we just talked about. Like this looks like a campaign framework where you have at the top all users, and then you kind of drill down into different types of targeting you want to do. But what we have circled here in orange are the category level ones, where it's just age and just the high level category. Those are the ones you might want to use for your predictive model. You also may want to use them, even drill down even further in that subcategory target. You can use targeted by rule for those, but also you can do predictive campaigns, because you can do, let's just say, use predictive model for investments for people who are 18 to 25, and then you might want to do a group that's 26 to 35 or something like that. So you might want to do age-based targeting there. So, you know, there's no limit to the number of ways you can do this.
That's right. So if you utilize this, and let's say everybody's producing CD-based campaigns, everybody's looking for deposits now, and they're really hot in the market, we've got an example of success. So We think maybe we have one or two people from Crane on the line. Maybe Anna's out there. We can't help but say how powerful their results have been. They have a CD predictive model campaign that they deployed on December 13th. And we took a look at it literally this morning just to check on it. And here's some of the details here. But there's a 9.2% click-through rate, which is unbelievable. You remember in the industry, if you can get a 1% click-through rate, then that's phenomenal. Theirs is 9.2%, which is crazy. And already in just the space of its launch to today, they have 825 new account opens for CDs. So I didn't have time to do the growth grid and see the actual estimated value of that, but I bet that's phenomenal. So Anna, I hope you've seen these results, and we're super excited about that. Great results using a predictive model campaign. So everybody take a look at that, and if you're not using this today, consider doing it, and we'll help you do that. Okay? So great.
And David, I want to say something. You know,
Yeah.
we like to highlight our customers who are getting great results and how they're using it. And it just shows that, you know, Crane digs deep in their data. They take a look at what's going on, and you know, you may not even know what your results are. So
That's
you know,
right.
make sure you're checking out those reports and looking at that influence conversion report every month. And see what, you know, see what your success is.
Exactly. And, you know, so I'm just focusing in over here. Look at that click-through rate. Look at those number of clicks that are occurring. These are the accounts open that are influenced by impressions and clicks for just CD, 825. These reports certainly are available. You can export them and see all of those individuals if you wish to. So don't forget about all the power of Deep Target. And I'll say that, but I'll also say, let us help you do that. So our managed services is flying high right now. We have upwards of 30 customers using us to run their systems for them. And it's been a real, I'll just say, benefit to so many of you guys out there because, well, you guys may not be aware that, you know, obviously keeping up with Deep Target can be challenging. We've heard, honestly, because it's so easy to use, it's so automated, it runs on its own. But we've also heard others say it's just, you know, challenging today with all the technologies, all the things that all of our marketing teams have to keep up with. It's just hugely challenging. So for a phenomenally reasonable monthly fee, let us run the system for you, and we'll guarantee optimal results. So,
and I'd like to say something a little bit about managed services because, you know, we have customers who are, you know, smaller credit unions, smaller banks.
right.
You know, they may not even have a marketing department. In some of our cases, the CEO is doing ads and running Deep Target. So they have really been appreciative to be able to offload that work to us to take care of that for them. So, you know, it's been really a good match for, you know, some smaller financial institutions.
That's right. That's exactly right. Thank you, Helen. Great stuff. Okay, so it's time for Java Joy. So we're going to give it a minute. Helen, would you pour through the list? And I'm thinking I might know who's going to get this one this time.
Guess who's going to win today? It's going to be Anna Smeltzer, actually.
Anna!
So congratulations, Anna.
Surprise, surprise with Crane Credit Union. So with your great work, we're going to make sure that you get to sit back and enjoy a coffee on us. And thank you for all the great stuff you're doing. Thank you guys for all attending today. We're going to give you a couple minutes back. We're going to end a few minutes early. We're going to talk next month about increasing deposits. So, you know, it's apropos that we just talked about Anna and Crane and CD deposits through the roof. Let's help you do that. Let's take a look at that next month. Thank you, Helen and Jacob, for being here today. Thank you all for joining us. We'll have the recording ready soon if you'd like to share it with others. But have a great day, and thank you again.
See you next month.